It's time for some Monday Night Football. What's going on, guys? It's your boy Emmanuel Jones back here with another video, and this time we'll be doing our NFL Monday Night Football prediction winner of Monday night, and I'm going to give you my thoughts and my game-by-game analysis to see who's going to win on that Monday Night Football. So before I give you my predictions and my winner of Monday Night Football games, don't forget, put the thumbs up to like the video, subscribe to my channel for more options, and comment down your opinion below to see who you think is going to win on Monday Night Football. So let's get things started here. So week 1, we got the Buffalo Bills facing against the New York Jets. Now, Aaron Rodgers is here. Now, this game right here can go either way because we know that the Bills have beaten the Jets in New York before. But this game right here is definitely in New York, though. So if this game is in Buffalo, I might lean towards the Bills. But since it's in New York, I'm going to go with the Jets here because I just think the Jets, match up well with the Bills pretty good on paper. They have a good enough pass rush to, disrupt the Bills running game because the Bills don't have a running game. And then their secondary, they have they'll have answers for the Bills passing game. Because I feel like the Jets did play them tough last year, and they ended up winning that game. But I think this game right here is going to be a little bit of a low-scoring game, and I think it will be defensive this time. But I think it will get ugly this time, so like it was before. So I'm going to take the Jets to win this game. Maybe they win by a field goal. All right, the next game, week 2, we got the New Orleans Saints versus the Carolina Panthers. This game right here could definitely go either way. Now, we've seen the Saints have beaten the Panthers on the road before, but this time it's going to be Derek Carr versus Bryce Young. Now, I believe Bryce Young is going to be starting this game. So yeah. If this game's in New Orleans, I might go with the Saints. But since this game's in Carolina, I'm probably going to lean towards the Panthers here because I kind of really think the Panthers, I feel like they're the most complete team, and they have a chance to win the division, though. I just kind of feel like that their defense is pretty much underrated. I feel like they'll have answers for the Saints passing game because they have a good enough secondary to handle business. Their pass rush is very underrated. They'll have answers for the run game. And I just kind of feel like, Bryce Young is going to put up a show here against the Saints defense, which the Saints defense it's okay, but it's starting to regress a little bit. So I feel like Carolina, they should have success against the Saints defense. So yeah. But so I got the Panthers here in this game, but it will be closer. Then we got another Monday Night Football game in week 2. We got the Cleveland Browns versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. This game right here is going to be fun to watch. This game's in Pittsburgh, so I'm taking the Steelers to win because the Steelers match up well with the Browns pretty good, and pretty much Mike Tomlin owns the Browns because he had beaten the Browns multiple times, almost every single season. So the Steelers, they have a good pass rush to get after the run game. They'll have answers for the run game. Their secondary actually improved enough to have answers for the Browns passing attack. I think the secondary handles business against the Browns receivers. And then, the offense, the Steelers offense, I don't really think it's going to be good as it was, but they did improve their weaponry, which that's what I really like. So I think Pittsburgh can move the ball against the Browns defense. If the Browns get ran on, they get ran on. I think the Steelers offense is going to make some plays here and there. Kenny Pickett should find a way, to at least make some big plays downfield. Now, I know last time when these two teams played, I believe the Steelers beat them by 14, where they almost put up 30 against the Browns. But I think this game is going to be low scoring this time because I think the Browns are going to stay in the game. So I got the Steelers. Then week 3, we got the Philadelphia Eagles versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I got the Eagles here. I mean, they're the more complete team. They have the better quarterback, better coaching staff. I mean, I don't have much trust in the Bucs right now. I mean, the Bucs, they don't got Tom Brady right now. I mean, if Tom Brady, if he stays in his team, I mean, I can definitely change my mind. But since Tom Brady is on this team, since they got Baker Mayfield, so they have no Tom Brady, like who's going to be the star? Right? It's going to be Baker Mayfield or Kyle Trask. And also on top of that, I don't think the Bucs are going to be very good this year. I feel like their whole team has regressed. I mean, the defense is probably not as good as it used to be. The offense is probably not as good as it used to be. And Todd Bowles, we know he's good for blitzing. So he's good at blitzing mobile quarterbacks. So I want the Bucs to win this game because of that. Because we knew that the Bucs won that game, beat the Eagles twice in 2 seasons, where they beat them in the regular season in Philadelphia, and they beat them in their own home stadium. But I think, this is a different Eagles team that the Bucs is facing against, because the Eagles have a really good underrated defense. They have a good offense, and I feel like Jalen Hurts can make enough plays against his Bucs defense. I think the Eagles' offensive line can do enough to control the Bucs pass rush, and their defensive line can probably handle business to because the Bucs, they don't have a running game though. So I think the Eagles' defense can take advantage of that. And then they have a dominant secondary, which I think they can match up with the Bucs really good. So I think they're gonna find a way to at least stop the passing game of the Bucs. They'll find the Eagles, their corners are gonna have to find a match for Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. So yeah, but I wouldn't be shocked if they kept this game close, but I think it will be a lot closer than we people think. But I got the Eagles here. I'm gonna say they at least win by 5 or win by 6 or 7. So yeah. Then another week 3 game we have on Monday Night Football is the Los Angeles Rams versus the Cincinnati Bengals. Now this is a Super Bowl rematch. Now I'm taking the Bengals here. I mean, they're the more complete team, better quarterback. They're at home. I mean, I don't think the Rams are going to be very good this year. I think the Rams, they're probably going to be. I thought the Rams could definitely look to be one of the worst teams in the league. I mean, we don't know if Matthew Stafford is going to be playing. We don't know if he's going to be healthy for this season. I mean, we don't know, because I don't think the Rams are going to be very good this year. I mean, they have lost so many players on defense, and I just don't think their defense is going to be able to do enough here to stop the Bengals' offense. Because I think with the weaponry of Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, those guys are going to be too much for the Rams secondary to handle. So Joe Burrow should put up a show here. They have a good offensive line that can control the Rams' pass rush, because I don't think the Rams had that much of a pass rush, like they used to be. Outside of Aaron Donald, their defensive line is not as good. So I think the Bengals should have success moving the football on them, running the ball on them, passing the ball on them, and all that. And plus, the Rams' offensive line is not as good, so I think the Bengals are going to match up well with the Rams really good. I think Cincinnati's defensive line takes advantage of that. They'll have answers for their running game. They're going to have answers for the passing game as well. So, yeah, because they have a good secondary that can really handle business. So, yeah. So, I think Cincinnati really wants that revenge from the Super Bowl where, they they couldn't really find a way to win this game due to the fact that Joe Burrow was getting pressure by Aaron Donald. So, yeah. So, I think the Bengals win this game, but I'm going to say it's going to be closer this time. I'm going to say they win by 7. And probably make a defensive stop at the end. Then week 4, next game, we got the Seattle Seahawks versus New York Giants. Now, this game right here last year was in Seattle. This time, this game right here is in New York. I think this game right here can definitely go either way. But I kind of really like, I'm taking the Giants here. I mean, I just feel like the Giants are going to match up well with the Seahawks really good on paper. The Giants have a good pass rush, and they have a good secondary to handle business against the Seahawks offense. I think the Giants corners can find a way to at least cover the Seahawks receivers. Their pass rush should be able to at least slow down their running game. They'll have answers for the run game. Martindale is going to blitz. We know he likes to blitz. He'll have answers for the Giants passing game. For the Seahawks passing game, where he can definitely confuse Geno. So, yeah. So, I kind of feel like the Giants might want revenge from last year where the Seahawks have whooped them. But I think, so, yeah. I think Daniel Jones is going to put up a show here. So, I think this game is going to be closer and be more competitive. But I got the Giants win this game. Next game, week 5, we had the Green Bay Packers versus the Las Vegas Raiders. Now, this game right here can definitely go either way as well because the Raiders are really not good at home against tough opponents. Now, my mind is saying that to pick the Packers to win because Green Bay has a better defense. Offense is really good. They just have a better defense. But my mind says if Aaron Rodgers is there, I have to lean towards Green Bay. But given that Aaron Rodgers is not there, I'm going to take the Raiders to win this game because they're at home and Las Vegas is a tough out to play at. And also, they're more stable with the quarterback position. And on top of that, Green Bay, without Aaron Rodgers, I don't think they're going to be able to do much on offense. Especially, they got Jordan Love as a starter, He doesn't have a Davante Adams, though. And, Davante Adams is going to be facing his former team, which this game can definitely be Davante Adams' revenge game. And then, the Packers got other receivers to deal with, like Christian Watson coming off a rookie year, Romeo Dubes coming off a rookie year. They drafted Jaden Reed. They drafted 2 tight ends in the mid-rounds like Tucker Kraft and Luke Musgrave. So, yeah. So, they got a pretty good young core there. But I think it's probably going to take a little bit of a learning curve. Well, I think they're trying to figure it out here. So, I think it's probably going to take a little bit of a learning curve. And it's probably going to take some time for everybody on that team to figure it out. So, I feel like that Green Bay, with this young offense, I think it's going to take some time to figure it out, especially without Aaron Rodgers. Because last year, they took a little time to figure it out. That's why, they kind of had a losing season. But I think, Green Bay, I feel like that Las Vegas should be able to win this game here at home. I think the Raiders should have answers for the Packers defense. And the Raiders their defense should have answers for their running game as well. Because their pass rush is very dominant with Max Crosby, Chandler Jones, and Tyreek Wilson, the 3 pass rushing duels. I think they can find a way to at least get some pressure and probably find a way to stop the run here. So, yeah, I think this game is going to be much closer than we expected to, but I think the Raiders win this game. But if this wasn't Green Bay, I might go with the Packers. But this time I'm going with the Raiders because they're at home. Next game, we have the Dallas Cowboys versus the Los Angeles Chargers. This game right here could definitely go either way. Now, I believe last time when these 2 teams played, I believe the Cowboys went to LA and win that game. But I don't know what's going to happen this year because some people are kind of leaning towards Dallas to win because Dallas is probably going to be one of the best teams in the league. And that's what I really think. And they think Dallas is a better team than the Chargers, and that's what I think too. But given that this game's in LA, I'm taking the upset. I got the Chargers win this game. Now, we know Chargers are really good at pulling up upsets, though. The reason why I'm picking the Chargers to win this game is because the Chargers are a West Coast team, and Dallas has to go across the country and play a West Coast team where it's not easy to travel. And a California team is kind of a hard place to play at. So, yeah, and especially I think the Chargers are going to be a really good team this year. I think their talent is kind of pretty good. I think what they can do defensively, I think they can rush the passer. I think they can make life difficult on Dak Prescott, which have a good pass rush. I think they'll have answers for their running game. The secondary will have answers for their secondary is very dominant, so they should be able to handle business against the Cowboys receivers. And then their offensive line is pretty good, so they should be able to so their offensive line is good enough to like control the Cowboys pass rush. So yeah, I think Justin Herbert, he's gonna have success against this Cowboys defense. So I think the Chargers offense is gonna do so well against Dallas defense where they put Dallas's defense in a bad position. So, and also I think the Chargers, they're at home, they have the better quarterback. So yeah, that pretty much why the Chargers win. And I feel like they're built to win this game as well. Yeah, so that's pretty much why. Next game, week 7, we have the San Francisco 49ers versus Minnesota Vikings. This game right here can go either way. Now, we don't understand that playing in Minnesota is a tough outing to play at, but I think the Vikings are not going to be a good team this year. Now, I'm probably going to go towards the Niners to win this game because I think the Niners are just a more complete team. They have the better coaching staff. They also have the better defense as well because I don't think the Vikings defense is all that great. So I feel like the Niners offensive line, their offense should be able to control the game. They should be able to move the ball against the Vikings defense. Especially Vikings doesn't really have a good secondary as well. So I mean it's kind of young and promising, but I kind of feel like San Francisco with the weaponry of Debo, George Kittle, and Brandon Ayuk, those guys are going to be like too much for Minnesota's secondary to handle. So I think the Niners offense is going to give the Vikings defense some problems. And I think the Niners defense is going to give the Vikings offense some problems too because they have a good pass rush to like disrupt the running game. Like they're going to have answers for the running game. They're going to have answers for the passing game as well because I think they'll find a way to slow down the pass. I think they can find a way to stop the pass, like make life difficult on Kirk Cousins, and I think the secondary can handle business. So, yeah. So, I think this game will be closer and competitive, but I'm going to take the Niners here to win this game on the road. Next game, we got the Las Vegas Raiders versus the Detroit Lions. Now, this game right here could definitely go either way, but some people might lean towards the Raiders to win because they think the Raiders are going to be a good team this year. But this game is in Detroit, so I'm probably going to lean towards the Lions here because I think the Lions are going to be a good team this year. I think the Lions are a more complete team, and I just think they have a better defense because I just kind of really feel that their defense is a lot better than Raiders. I think they're going to match up well the Raiders pretty good on paper. I think their pass rush can definitely give the Raiders offense some fits, and I feel like that, they have a pretty much improved secondary that can really like take advantage of the Raiders receivers. And then the Lions got a good offensive line that can really control the Raiders pass rush. So I think they can do that. And especially the Raiders don't really have any corners that can really cover the Lions receivers. So I guys kind of feel like that the Raiders secondary is going to get toasted against the Lions passing game. Because I feel like St. Brown and Jameson Williams is going to be like too much for the secondary of the Raiders to handle. So Jared Goff should be able to put up a show here. So, yeah, and I feel like Ben Johnson, Eric Glenn is going to put up a good game plan as well. So, yeah, I think this game right here is going to be very close, but I think the Lions win this game. But I'm going to say they win by a field goal or a touchdown. The next game, we have the Chargers versus the Jets. This game right here could definitely go either way. Now, this is Aaron Rodgers in the Jets uniform. Now, this is a game where Aaron Rodgers is going to be playing against the Jets. He's going to be in the Jets uniform. And, like I said, it can go either way. But if this game was in LA, I might go towards the Chargers, though. But this is a West Coast team going towards East, where it's really really tough to play at. So I'm going to take the Jets to win this game because they're at home. They have the better quarterback. And I just kind of feel that the Jets should – and I feel like Nathaniel Hackett is going to put up a good game plan against the Chargers defense. Where the Chargers defense, they struggle against the run. they can't really defend the pass really well, where they struggle against the pass. So I think Aaron Rodgers should have success against this Chargers defense. Especially, I feel like the Jets should have success moving the football. They have a pretty good offensive line that can control the Chargers pass rush. And they should be able to move the ball against them. And I feel like the defense can definitely can find a way to at least like have answers for the run game and probably have answers for the passing game because it make life difficult on Justin Herbert. And then just have a good secondary enough where I think their secondary is good enough, to like cover the Chargers receivers. Like, I don't really know they have enough corners, because the Jets secondary is pretty much good to do that. So I think this game's going to be close, but I think the Jets are going to win this game at home. All right, the next game, week 10, we got the Denver Broncos versus the Buffalo Bills. I got the Bills here because they're the more complete team. They're at home. They got the better quarterback, better coaching staff. And this is also the Von Miller revenge game as well. But I just don't really have trust in the Broncos right now. I don't have trust in Russ right now because I feel like Russell Wilson seems a little bit washed. Like, I don't know if he can get back to where he was because they got a new coach in Sean Payton, which can definitely make them more competitive. But I just kind of really feel like, Denver's going to be doing learning curve. And then, they got to go towards this is a West Coast team playing against going towards East Coast. Like I said, same thing about the Chargers playing and going on the road against the Jets. Denver has to go towards East to play against Buffalo, which is a hard place to play at. And on top of that, I just kind of feel like that the Broncos offense is a little bit overrated. So I think the Bills defense takes advantage of that. I feel like the Broncos offensive line, I don't think they're good at pass blocking. So I think the Bills defensive line can take advantage of that. They're going to have answers for the run game. The Bills secondary is going to have answers for the receivers. I think they'll find a way to at least cover their passing game, maybe force Russ to hold on to the ball. So yeah. And plus, Buffalo has a better offensive line, so they should be able to control the Broncos' defensive line, which I think is a little bit overrated. But I think Denver's secondary is good, but I think the Bills' defense finds a way to – their offense can find a way to, move the ball against Denver's defense, and they should be able to expose Denver's secondary because I think the Broncos' secondary is a little bit overrated too. So, yeah. I think this game is going to be closer, though, but I think it could be a lower scoring game, but I'm taking the Bills here to win this game. Next game, we got the Philadelphia Eagles playing against the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, this is a Super Bowl rematch game. Now, this game right here could definitely go either way, but some people are going to pick the Eagles to win because they might want that revenge for a Super Bowl where they kind of blew that game to the Chiefs because, Eagles didn't really do enough to slow down Patrick Mahomes and that Chiefs offense. So if this game's in Philly, I might lean towards the Eagles. But since this game's in Kansas City, I'm going to take the Chiefs because they're at home. And I just kind of feel like their offensive line is good enough where I think they can control the Eagles' pass rush, spread their secondary out. And then I just kind of feel like that they're going to control the clock in this game to keep Jalen Hurts off the field. So, yes, I think the Chiefs find a way to win this game, but I say they at least – but I think it will be closer than last time. Maybe they win by 3, or maybe they win by 4 or 5 or 6. So, yeah, give me the Chiefs to win this game. The next game, we have the Chicago Bears versus the Minnesota Vikings. Now, this is another game that can go either way because we know that Chicago have beaten the Bears on the road before. But this game's in Minnesota, so I'm taking the Vikings here because they're at home. They have a better quarterback. And I just kind of really feel like that the Vikings, they should be able to make some plays here against this against this Bears defense, where I think is not really good. So I think the Bears, with their secondary, I think they should be able to. I think the Vikings with Justin Jefferson. I feel like the Bears will not have an answer for Justin Jefferson or Jordan Addison, because those guys can definitely run past the Bears secondary, which is not good and is very young. And then, Minnesota has a good offensive line that can really control the Bears defensive line, which is not good. And I feel like Brian Flores is going to have a good game plan. He's going to find a way to blitz Justin Fields and all that. So, yeah. So, I think this game right here is going to be closer than we expected, but I have the Vikings winning this game at home. The next game, Week 13, we have the Cincinnati Bengals versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. This game right here can definitely go either way, but some people might lean towards Jacksonville because Jacksonville's at home and going to Duval is a tough place to play at. But I just kind of really feel like that Jacksonville, I just kind of feel like that Jacksonville, it's going to be a good team this year. Trevor Lawrence, he's a good quarterback. The offense is pretty much underrated. The defense is pretty much underrated. I mean, we can definitely see this defense give Joe Burrow a tough time. But I just kind of really feel like that, Jacksonville's not good against tough opponents. And plus, they're playing against Cincinnati, which that's a tough opponent, though. That's a game where I think that Jacksonville can win. But I don't know if I'm confident in this game. I'm probably going to lean towards the Bengals here because I just don't have no trust in Jacksonville's defense right now. I think their defense is a little bit too young. And then, I just kind of feel like Cincinnati with Joe Burrow is going to do enough against Jacksonville's defense. I mean, their offensive line is good enough to control their pass rush. Then they have a good weaponry, which I think they'll find a way to give the Jaguars secondary some fits. And plus, Jacksonville's offensive line is pretty young, and it has rookies. So I think Cincinnati defensive line can probably find a way to at least take advantage of that. And then they have a good secondary that can really find a way to at least take advantage of the Jaguars receivers. So yeah. So I think it will be closer, but I'm taking the Bengals to win this game. All right, the next game we got the Tennessee Titans versus the Miami Dolphins. Now this is another game that can definitely go either way though. But I'm probably going to lean towards the Dolphins to win this game because the Dolphins are at home. They're the more complete team. And I just kind of really feel like they have a better receiving core as well. Because I feel like the Titans receiving core is iffy. So I think the Dolphins defense can do enough to at least stop the pass. And Vic Fangio should put up a good game plan against the Titans offense. And I just kind of feel like the Dolphins should have a good game plan against the Titans defense. They're going to have answers for the stop. So I think the Dolphins, I think they're going to move the football. I think Tyreek Hill is going to have a good game here. And so is Jalen Waddle. So I just kind of feel like Tyreek Hill I just kind of feel like Tua is going to put up a show here. So, yeah. So, by the way, I think the game was going to be closer, though. But I think the Dolphins win this game at home. The next game, we have the Green Bay Packers versus New York Giants. Now, this is another game that can go either way, though. Now, last year they played this game was in London. But this time, this game is definitely in New York this time. But if this game's in Green Bay, I might lean towards the Packers here. But since they don't got Aaron Rodgers, I'm going with the Giants here because the Giants are at home. And I just kind of feel like the Giants are gonna find a way to move the ball against the Packers defense. Dayball's gonna have a good game plan. I feel like Martindale's gonna have a good game plan as well. He's gonna find a way to blitz the young quarterback, and he'll find a way to put up a good game plan where we know Martindale likes to blitz. Maybe he finds a way to blitz Jordan Love's a young quarterback where he can where I think the Giants defense can make life difficult on Jordan Love. And I think, Daniel Jones is going to put up a show here. And I think this defense is going to find a way to slow down the running game. And I think they'll find a way in the secondary to take advantage of the Packers' young receivers. So, yeah. I think this game is going to be closer than last time, but I think the Giants win this game. Next game, we have the Kansas City Chiefs versus the New England Patriots. Now, this is a game right here that can definitely go either way. Now, I believe last time when these two teams played, I think this game can definitely go either way, but I don't really know who I'm going to pick to win this game. Now, my mind says I might pick the Chiefs to win this game because they're the better team. But I don't know, because some people might pick the Patriots to win at home. But I don't know. It's kind of tough to say. But you know what? I'm taking the upset. I'm taking the Patriots to win the game because I just feel like the Patriots, they're at home, and I feel like Belichick has had success against Andy Reid. So I feel like the Patriots are gonna put up a good game plan. Patriots, they have the defense, they have the secondary, to at least take advantage of the Chiefs receivers. They have the pass rush to get after Mahomes. So I feel like they do match up well with the Chiefs really good on paper. I think the Chiefs are going to struggle with the Patriots defense where they did before in the past. And I feel like that Bill O'Brien is going to set up a good game plan. I feel like Mac Jones is going to make enough plays against his Chiefs defense, young defense. And this could be the Juju revenge game too. I think that Mac Jones, he should be able to do enough against his Chiefs defense to tear apart the Chiefs secondary as well, which is very young. And then they have a decent enough offensive line that can control the Chiefs pass rush as well. So, yeah. I mean, this game right here, I feel like it's going to be a lot closer. It's going to be fun to watch, but I got the Patriots here in a close one. Next game, we have the Baltimore Ravens versus the San Francisco 49ers. Now, this game's on Christmas. Now, this game can definitely go either way, but we don't know who's going to be playing quarterback for this game for the Niners. Like I said, it's either going to be Sam Darnold, Trey Lance, or Brock Purdy, which I don't think it matters, though. But I'm taking the Niners, though, because this game's in San Francisco, and I just think they're just a more complete team. They have a better – I just kind of really feel like San Francisco's defensive line is going to give the Ravens offense a lot of fits because they have a good enough pass rush to disrupt the run game. They have a good enough secondary that can probably, dictate the pace. They can, take care of business here against the Ravens' young receivers. And then have a decent enough offensive line that can control the Ravens' pass rush. So I think they're going to find a way to move the ball against this Ravens defense. So, yeah. But I think it will be closer, though. But I think the Niners find a way to win this game. Then last game, we got the Detroit Lions versus the Dallas Cowboys. This game right here was played last year, and I believe last time when these two teams play, I believe the Cowboys won that game. But since this game's in Dallas, I'm taking the Cowboys to win because the Cowboys, I just think they're the more complete team. I think they're going to be one of the best teams in the league, and I think they're going to have one of the best top 10 defense, top 5 best defenses in the league. I feel like they did improve their corner position. I think the defense did improve enough. I think they're going to find a way to at least I think their secondary is good enough to dictate, take care of business against the Lions receivers, maybe force Jared Goff to hold on to the ball. And then you got a promising pass rush. They got a promising pass rush, which is pretty good. They should be able to have answers for the Lions running game. They have a strong offensive line to control the Lions pass rush. And I feel like that Dak Prescott should put up a show here. I mean, the receiver core is really good. I mean, they should be able to put up points and probably they should probably do enough against the Lions defense. And I feel like Dan Quinn's going to put up a good game plan. He's going to find a way to confuse, Jared Goff and all that. So, yeah. But I think this game's going to be closer than last time. I think it will be competitive, though. But if the Lions stay in the game, I think it will be competitive, which I think they will be competitive in this game. And I think it will be close. But I got Dallas here in a close one. Well, those are all my predictions for my Monday Night Football games. Hope you guys enjoyed watching. And don't forget, if you disagree with me, just let me know in the comment section below what you think. Do you think I'm right? Do you think I'm wrong? Just let me know what you think in the comment section below. Well, this is Emmanuel Jones here. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys later. Peace.